The day when Messi, just 19, dropped a hat trick in a classic showdown and became Barcelona's new MVP was straight up epic. That legendary game between Barcelona and Real Madrid went down on March 10, 2007 at Camp Nou, with both squads battling for the top spot in La Liga. Barca was loaded with heavy hitters in their lineup like Ronaldinho, Eto'o, Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi, who back then was just a kid grinding to become a legend for the Catalan squad. On the flip side, Real Madrid was stacked with their own set of ballers like Van Nistelrooy, Guti, Raul, Sergio Ramos, and Casillas. In that intense face-off between two soccer juggernauts, Messi found the perfect chance to show off his ball skills and win over the fans. The ref kicked off the match, and it was zero chill from the start. Just 3 minutes in, Ronaldinho got the ball on the left flank and went on the offensive. Dropping some sick moves, he dodged the defense and made space for the shot, but a defender blocked it.
Nope.
Then, at 4.5 minutes, it was Real Madrid's turn to attack. Higuain, with the ball on the left, whipped it into the box, but it nicked a Barca defender.
Nope.
It landed right to Van Nistelrooy, who was on point and nailed it first time, bagging Real's first goal of the game. That early goal hit Barca hard, putting them on the back foot right from the jump. But the thought of taking an L wasn't even in Messi's head. He was all in to flip the script. A few minutes later, Barca tried to clap back with Ronaldinho on the left attack, juking a player and lobbing a long pass to Messi on the other side. But bummer, the pass was too much, and the Argentine couldn't snag it. At 9.5 minutes, Barca made another play with Xavi, cutting off an opponent's pass. He, with his sharp game vision, dropped a deep pass to Eto'o, who went one-on-one with Real's goalie Casillas, who pulled off an insane save to keep the tie at bay. Now it was Messi's time to shine again in the game. Barcelona was craving that tie like crazy, and that's when the Argentine superstar stepped up. At the 10-minute mark, the Catalan squad kicked off a fresh attack with Eto'o feeding a killer pass to Messi on the right flank, all by himself with no one marking him. The Argentine ace didn't let the chance slip and drilled it into the corner. Goal for Barcelona. At that moment, the stadium, packed with Barca fans, went wild with the tie, and Messi felt like a boss scoring his first goal in an El Clasico. But Barca fans' joy was short-lived, because in less than 2 minutes later, Real Madrid launched a team assault with a series of passes until the ball reached Guti, who, entering the box, got taken down by the opposing defender. The ref immediately called a penalty and slapped Barca's defender, Oliger, with a yellow card. Van Nistelrooy was tapped to take the shot, pumped to bag another goal in the game. The ref gave the go-ahead, and Nistelrooy went for a low shot down the middle, netting his second of the game, giving Real the lead again. Before you keep watching the vid, hit that subscribe button, please! The game was off the hook. Less than 12 minutes in, and 3 goals had been scored already. 18 minutes into the game, Barca tried to level with Messi, spearheading an attack through the middle, dodging and breezing past several opponents before passing to Eto'o, who was unmarked on the left flank. But the Cameroonian striker seemed off his game and once again fluffed a golden chance going one-on-one with Casillas. The game stayed intense, with a bunch of fouls being thrown around, like the harsh foul Sergio Ramos dished out on Ronaldinho 20 minutes into the game in a play that wasn't even a major threat to Real. Ramos got hit with a yellow card. At 23 minutes, Messi got the ball on the right and decided to go solo. The Argentine wizard broke away, leaving the first defender in the dust and made room for the shot, but it got blocked by the opposing defender. Then, at 26 minutes into the game, Barca went for another offensive play, with Ronaldinho getting the ball on the left, taking on the defense, pulling some slick moves, and passing to Eto'o in the middle. The Cameroonian striker got yet another huge chance to score, but ended up blowing it again. And if Eto'o was having an off day, Lionel Messi, on the other hand, was on fire. Less than a minute later, Barca went on the attack again, with Ronaldinho on the left, taking on the defense and breaking into the box. The Brazilian maestro dodged several opponents and took a shot, but Casillas made a solid save. On the rebound, Messi was perfectly positioned and nailed it first time to score his second goal of the match, making it all even again. The Argentine star was stoked about his performance, but he wanted more! At 31 minutes into the game, Barcelona started a new attack, with Xavi passing to Messi on the right, who was again unmarked. But this time, sadly, his aim was off, and the ball went out. Then, at 37 minutes, it was Real Madrid's turn to attack. Van Nistelrooy got the ball on the left and passed to Higuain, who, after controlling it, took a shot from outside the box. But Barca's goalie pulled off an excellent save, stopping the ball from going in. Right after, Barcelona launched a counterattack, with Messi getting the ball in the middle and doing a play with Ronaldinho, who got the ball again in the area. The Brazilian tried a cross to Eto'o, but before the ball could reach him, a Real Madrid defender popped up and managed to kick the ball out. Close to the 43-minute mark, Real star Van Nistelrooy tried a bold shot from a really long distance, keeping it super precise. But luckily for Barca, goalkeeper Victor Valdés was on his game and made the save. Less than a minute later, it was Messi's turn to pop up in the game again. The Argentine ace grabbed the ball on the right and quickly moved up for the attack, smoothly dodging an opposing defender. Then, he passed the ball to Iniesta in the middle, who went for a shot from outside the box. However, Real's goalie was alert and managed to make the save. In the last minutes of the first half, Oliger, Barcelona's defender, committed a severe foul on Gago from Real Madrid without any goal threat. The ref gave him a yellow card, which, added to another he already had, resulted in a red card and his expulsion. This expulsion put Barcelona at a significant disadvantage, forcing the team to play the second half with one player down. Starting the second half, Real Madrid had their first goal chance at 47 minutes. During a counterattack, Sergio Ramos passed the ball to Higuain, who, by not controlling it properly, allowed Barcelona's goalkeeper to advance and make the save. 2 minutes later, Real Madrid pushed forward again, with Higuain carrying the ball through the center and trying to pass it to Guti on the left. Although a Barcelona defender initially intercepted the pass, Guti got the ball back, crossed into the area, and Higuain, in a direct attempt, shot at the goal. However, his shot was too powerful and ended up going past the goal line. At 62 minutes, it was Barca's turn to react, with Ronaldinho picking up the ball in midfield and playing it off with Xavi, who, already inside the box, got the ball back and tried to cross. However, Xavi's attempt at a cross was blocked by the opposing team's defenders, stopping the attack's progress. Shortly after, Barcelona made another attempt, with Messi passing the ball to Ronaldinho on the left. Ronaldinho tried to dribble but got tripped up in the box. Messi snagged the ball back, but under heat, passed it back to Ronaldinho, who ended up losing possession. Then, Real Madrid went for a comeback with a killer pass from Higuain to Van Nistelrooy, who found himself face-to-face with the goalie. He tried to lob it over the keeper, but Victor Valdés pulled off a sick save for Barca, saving them from falling behind. At 66 minutes, Real cooked up another chance against Barca with an insane pass from Robinho on the right to Van Nistelrooy on the left side of the attack. Nistelrooy took control and fired from outside the box, but Victor Valdés once again was there for the save. Right after, Real Madrid set up another attack. This time, Guti, with his killer game vision, delivered a dope pass to Van Nistelrooy on the left side of the attack. Van Nistelrooy managed the ball well, made some space, and went for the goal. But Victor Valdés, yet again on point, made an effective save, preventing another goal. Oliger's red card in the first half really hit Barcelona hard. They were getting major pressure in the second half. It seemed like if things kept up, Real Madrid would score. And that's exactly what happened at 72 minutes when Robinho drew a foul on the right attack. Guti was chosen for the free kick, crossing it into the box, finding Sergio Ramos, who headed it in for Real Madrid's third goal of the game. That goal was a heavy blow to Barca, who at that moment were down to their biggest rivals in a home game with all their fans in the stadium. Shortly after, Barcelona sought the equalizer with Iniesta pulling off a highlight moment. He dribbled past two Real Madrid defenders and shot, but sadly his shot didn't find the target, going out. At 78 minutes, Barca went for another attack with a long pass aimed at Ronaldinho. However, a Real Madrid defender intercepted the attempt, heading the ball, which then ended up with Marquez. He, without hesitating, launched a direct shot from outside the area, but Casillas managed a spectacular save, preventing Barcelona's goal. Right after, Barcelona lost the ball, and Real Madrid launched a quick counterattack with Robinho moving up the field. As they invaded the area, Real swapped passes until the ball reached Van Nistelrooy, who shot at goal. However, his shot was blocked by a Barcelona defender. The game was nearing the end, and Barcelona desperately needed a goal to tie. At 86 minutes, Ronaldinho made a beautiful play, dribbling past three opposing players and then passing to Messi, who took the ball, dribbled past another player, and ended up being taken down in the box. But the ref, shockingly, didn't call a penalty. 2 minutes later, Messi made another attempt to attack, shooting from outside the box. But his aim was way off, and the ball went past the goal line. Messi was all in to tie this game up, and that's exactly what happened in overtime when Ronaldinho passed to Messi. The Argentine star used his insane ball skills to dodge opponents, break into the box, and shoot into the right corner, scoring his third goal and tying the game for Barcelona. At that moment, Barca fans, who were bummed thinking their team was going to lose, suddenly filled with joy with Messi's last-minute goal. And after Messi, at just 19 years old, pulled off that hat trick against their biggest rivals in a packed Camp Nou, he became the newest idol of the Catalan team. That's how a new legend was born, who would become one of the greatest of all time. The day Messi scored 2 goals in a championship final and totally schooled Neymar was epic. This legendary game went down on December 18, 2011 in a showdown between Barcelona and Santos to see who'd snag the FIFA Club World Cup. Santos, with Neymar leading the charge, was at the top of their game, with Neymar being the Brazilian soccer scene's next big thing at just 19. Messi's Barca squad was the heavy fab, packing major heat with stars like Iniesta, Xavi, Puyol, Busquets, and the gang. It was this rare chance to catch a Neymar versus Messi face-off in a clutch match. Once the game kicked off, Barca was all over them. In under 2 minutes, Messi made a solo move against the Santos defense but got swarmed by 5 players who snagged the ball. Then it was Neymar's turn to shine. 7 minutes in, on a Santos break, the Brazilian superstar tried to weave through Barca's D, but got shook by their skill level and lost the ball to Puyol. Next up, Barca flipped it with Messi darting forward, leaving 2 players in the dust. Messi passed it to Thiago, who tried to play it back inside the box but tripped up and lost it. Around the 12-minute mark, Messi was at it again, grabbing the ball midfield and tearing up the pitch with his speed and moves, dodging a defender and winding up for the shot. But shocker, Santos' keeper was on his game, blocking Messi's shot and the follow-up from Thiago. Minutes later, Santos went on the offensive with Neymar booking it downfield, but as he neared the box, got taken down and lost the ball to the opposing defense. Seemed like Neymar was off his game. And the worst part? Things were only going downhill from there. At the 16-minute mark, Messi kicked off an attack, playing a quick 1-2 with his teammates and getting the ball back in the box, face-to-face with the opposing keeper. With the skill and chill only a player of his caliber has, Messi lobbed the ball over the Santos keeper. The defender tried his best to block it, but no dice, and Barca scored the first goal of the game. 2 minutes later, Barca was on the attack again with Messi getting the ball near the box and passing to a teammate who couldn't make the catch and ended up fouling. Messi was like everywhere in the game. By the 21st minute, the Argentine ace was at it again, linking up with Thiago, who entered the box and passed it back to Messi. Messi tried to outmaneuver the Santos defenders but lost the ball. Over 20 minutes into the game and Neymar was barely a blip on the radar. And just when things couldn't get worse, at the 23-minute mark, Barca mounted another attack with Daniel Alves taking the ball down the left flank. Entering the box, he passed to Xavi, who controlled the ball and didn't hesitate to blast it into the net, scoring Barca's second. The game was so chill for Barcelona, it hardly felt like a FIFA Club World Cup final. Before you keep watching the vid, hit that subscribe button, please! Less than 2 minutes later, Barca was on the prowl again with Messi teaming up with Fabregas and getting the ball back in the box to finish. But at the last second, a Santos defender popped up and managed to clear the ball to the sideline. Around the 28-minute mark, Barca nearly bagged another when Xavi sent a beautiful pass to Fabregas, who chested the ball and shot, but it hit the post! Now was Neymar's moment to shine in the game. At the 37-minute mark, Neymar tried to make a play by snatching the ball from Barca's defense. But as soon as he did, he was fouled by Piqué, stopping the play and earning Piqué a yellow card. Neymar was having a rough day. It was like all his skill had vanished from the game. Around the 40-minute mark, the few times Neymar got the ball, he messed up the pass and lost possession for his team. But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Messi was hungry for more and looking to help his team widen the lead. At the 44th minute, the Argentine star got a pass inside the box, but was swarmed by the opposing defenders. Messi, using his creativity and skill, flicked a back heel to Daniel Alves, who whipped in a cross, and Thiago leapt for a header, but the keeper managed to punch it away. On the rebound, Fabregas, perfectly placed, didn't miss the chance, and banged in the third goal for Barca in the game. And that's how the first half wrapped up, with Messi killing it while Neymar hardly touched the ball. The second half kicked off with Barca snatching the ball from the opposing defense and Messi breaking forward with all his speed and finesse. When the Argentine ace got inside the box, he passed to Fabregas, who took a shot at goal, almost adding to the score if not for a solid save from the Santos keeper. Messi wasn't satisfied with the score. He wanted more. 51 minutes into the game, Barca's number 10 picked up the ball midfield and charged forward, dodging and leaving several opponents behind. Getting near the box, Messi passed to Thiago, who crossed to Daniel Alves, going for a header, but hitting it poorly, and the ball went out. 2 minutes later, Barca was back at it with Fabregas getting the ball on the left flank and crossing to Messi, who nearly scored another if not for the Santos keeper's clutch save. Right after, less than a minute later, Santos tried to make a comeback with a team play, Elano passing into the box to Borges, but the Barca keeper closed in on the player and made the save. Neymar was struggling even to get involved in his team's offensive plays, but at the 56th minute of the game, he decided to switch it up, receiving a forward pass that put him one-on-one with the keeper. Unlike Messi, who kept his cool and lobbed the keeper to score, Neymar didn't have the same finesse and ended up blasting the ball straight at the opponent, blowing the best chance Santos had up to that point. And while Neymar wasn't exactly shining, Messi, on the other hand, was all about extending the lead. Around the 58-minute mark, the Argentine star got the ball and tried to dodge a Santos defender, but the defense was tight on him, and he ended up drawing a heavy foul. 3 minutes passed, and Santos went on the offensive, earning a corner. After a scramble in the box, the ball fell to Neymar, who attempted a shot from outside the box, but a Barca defender blocked it, taking possession. At the 63rd minute, Neymar got a sick long pass on the left attack. In a rare flash of brilliance in this match, the Brazilian ace used his skill to shake off 2 defenders and create space to pass to his teammate, who, lacking his skill, mishandled the ball, losing possession. The second half was slightly less rough for Neymar and his team, but it seemed not enough to turn the game around. Around the 68th minute, Barca went on the attack with Daniel Alves breaking into the box from the left and passing to Messi. But lucky for Santos, the ref called offside. A few minutes later, Messi was back at it, bothering Santos' defense with a forward pass to Daniel Alves, who received the ball, faced the keeper, but again, the ref called offside. Around the 72nd minute, the Argentine wizard appeared again, getting a long pass from the other side of the field, controlling it with his head and going on the attack. Messi managed to dribble past some opposing players, but eventually lost the ball to the last defender of Santos. Now it was Neymar's turn to step up. Less than a minute later, Santos tried to make a comeback with Neymar linking up in the attack to Ganso, who broke into the box and tried to shoot, but the shot was blocked by a Barca defender. Seconds after, Neymar got the ball again and attempted a short pass, which was snatched by the opponent. Following that, Barca launched a counter with Messi tearing up the field, dodging 2 Santos players until he was fouled, halting his run and earning the offender a yellow card. The game was winding down, and Messi was thirsty to up the score by any means. Then, at the 81st minute, Barca snagged the ball and mounted an attack on the left with Daniel Alves breaking into the area and feeding Messi. The Argentine ace once more didn't waste the chance and pulled off a slick move on the keeper, nailing his second goal of the match and Barca's 4th. At this point, Lionel Messi was schooling the world and Neymar, showing he still had a long way to go to match his level of play. Minutes ticked by, and Santos tried to spark a minor rally with Neymar getting the ball and pushing forward, but he lost it to Barca's defenders. Before the game ended, at the 88th minute, Messi was again hassling Santos' defense, trying to break into the box, passing to a teammate, and getting the ball back in front. But his effort was cut off by an opposing defender. And that's how the game wrapped up, with Barcelona crushing Santos 4-0, snagging the FIFA Club World Cup of 2011. This personal duel between Neymar and Messi showcased the Argentines' far superior technical level, leaving no doubt who was the top player at the time. Years passed, and instead of rivals, they became teammates in 2013 when Neymar was signed by Barca. Together, they killed it, forming one of the most formidable attacks ever. The day Messi showed Cristiano Ronaldo and the whole world who's boss was a historic day in soccer, with Messi scoring a clutch goal in the last play of the game. This legendary match happened on April 23, 2017, during a hyped-up El Clasico between Barcelona and Real Madrid at the packed Santiago Bernabeu. At that time, both teams were desperate for a win, because they were neck and neck in the race for the top spot in the Spanish league standings. Real Madrid, with Cristiano Ronaldo at the helm, had a squad full of heavy hitters like Modric, Benzema, Toni Kroos, Gareth Bale, Sergio Ramos, and the crew. Barca, with Lionel Messi leading, was down Neymar for the game, but still had some solid players to back him up like Suarez, Iniesta, Busquets, and Piqué. It was like a battlefield, with the 2 top teams in the world going at it, plus an epic showdown between Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. The game kicked off intense. Real Madrid launched an attack with a dope long pass from Sergio Ramos to Carvajal, who flicked it to Cristiano Ronaldo inside the box to finish, but he ended up hitting the deck after getting blocked by an opponent's defender. Even though he hit the turf in the box and was hollering for a penalty, the ref wasn't having it and let the game play on. At the start of the game, Real Madrid was leading the charge with some dangerous offensive plays, Like, at the 5-minute mark during a real counter, Benzema dropped a sick pass to Cristiano Ronaldo, who booked it to the ball with his speed. CR7 then whipped out his slick skills to cut inside and make room for a shot, but the Barca goalie was on point and pulled off a solid save. Then, 10 minutes in, it was Barcelona's turn to clap back, and that's exactly what went down when Messi linked up with Jordi Alba, who whipped it to Luis Suarez for the finish. But the shot just went wide. Even though Messi hadn't flexed his skills yet, the defense on him was tight. The opponents knew slipping up could mean a goal. Cause duh, he's Lionel Messi. 16 minutes into the game, the Argentine ace gets the ball midfield and tries to solo it, sprinting towards the enemy goal and dusting several defenders. Getting near the box, he passes to Rakitic, but the pass is just too hot to handle. A few minutes tick by, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo's time to shine. 19 minutes in, Marcelo feeds CR7 on the left flank, and he, without a second thought, takes on the defenders and creates space to unleash a powerful shot. But once again, the Barca keeper steps up with a save. Right after this play, Messi gets banged up in a clash with Marcelo, and the cams catch him catching an elbow and rocking a bloody face. After getting patched up, the Argentine superstar jumps back into the game. Before you keep watching the vid, hit that subscribe button, please! At the 23-minute mark, Real makes a move with Marcelo, who once again links up with Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo takes control and fires at the goal, but this time he totally flubs it, sending the ball way off target. 4 minutes roll by, and Real gets a corner kick, which Barca's keeper manages to knock away. The ball ends up at Marcelo's feet, who whips across back into the mix. Sergio Ramos, perfectly placed, flicks it on, setting up Casemiro to nail Real Madrid's first goal. At that moment, Messi's frustration was palpable. Not only was his face banged up, but his team was trailing behind their arch rival. He knew he had to unleash his magic on the field or things could go south real fast. And that's exactly what he did at the 32-minute mark. Messi spearheaded an attack, playing off his teammates to get the ball back in the box, breeze past 3 Real defenders, and slot one in, evening the score with his first goal of the game. At that moment, Messi just proved what everyone already knew. The man's a straight-up football wizard. Then, at the 40-minute mark, Barca sets off another attack with the Argentine maestro, who dishes it to Suarez. But Suarez gets blocked by a defender, and the ball ricochets back to Messi, who tries for another shot, but it goes wide. 2 minutes later, Messi sparks another drive down the flank, passing ahead to Suarez, who crosses to Jordi Alba for the finish, but the ball just misses. Right at the 45-minute mark, Barca kicks off a counter with Messi going solo through the middle, but he gets stopped by a foul from Casemiro. Barca keeps up the pressure, and in the last play of the first half, they earn a corner kick, with Messi getting the ball but unfortunately sending it wide. Even though the first half ended in a 1-1 tie, it felt like Messi was totally game hungry and could have scored another, something he wouldn't want to miss out on moving forward. The second half starts, and Real Madrid hits the ground running, super determined to snag the win. A minute and a half into the second half, Casemiro snags a pass from Messi, and Real launches a counter with Cristiano Ronaldo down the middle, throwing up his hands calling for the pass. Then, Benzema gets the ball and tries to cross it to CR7, but Piqué steps up, blocks the pass, and keeps Ronaldo from getting the ball. Real keeps on the attack, and Marcelo passes to Toni Kroos, who decides to take a shot from outside the box. But Barca's goalie pulls off a sick save to keep it out. 8 minutes into the second half, Real tries another attack with Marcelo crossing to Benzema for a header. But once again, Barca's goalie, Ter Stegen, comes through with a solid save. Now it was Messi's turn to light up the game. Around 10 minutes into the second half, Barca makes a move with Messi getting the ball and drawing a foul. Even though the foul wasn't near the box, it still looked like trouble for Real because Lionel Messi was stepping up to take the shot. But the dude put way too much power into it and the ball flew out. A couple minutes later, Barca tries again with Messi sending a forward pass to Suarez, but he messes up the control and the opposing goalie snags the ball. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo's time to shine. 20 minutes into the second half, during a Real attack, midfielder Marco Asensio gets the ball on the right side and whips it across to Cristiano Ronaldo, who tries a bicycle kick but sadly fluffs it. If he had nailed that, it would have been fire, but it just wasn't to be. Less than 2 minutes later, Real pushes forward again with Marco Asensio on the right, passing to CR7, who misses the mark with his shot again. Seems like luck wasn't on his side that day, and while Ronaldo's Real was struggling to finish, Messi's Barca was looking way sharper. This all goes down 27 minutes into the second half, when the Argentine legend gets the ball in the opponent's box, but gets cut off by the defender. But then, the ball finds its way to midfielder Ivan Rakitic, who controls it smoothly, fakes a shot to juke the first defender, and then blasts one from outside the box. A screamer! With Barcelona taking the lead, it was Cristiano Ronaldo's Real Madrid's turn to hustle for a comeback. Shortly after, at the 29-minute mark of the second half, Real goes on the offensive with a cross from Marcelo. Benzema sets it up for CR7 to strike, but once again, the opposing goalie pulls off a save. 2 minutes pass, and after Real loses the ball, Messi ends up with it and starts a counter. Sergio Ramos decides to slide tackle the Argentine to stop the play. Shockingly, he might have gone too hard on the tackle, and the ref saw it as a major foul, slapping him with a red card. Down a player and the score against them, Cristiano Ronaldo's Real was in a tight spot. It almost got worse when midfielder Andre Gomez got the ball on the left side and crossed it to Piqué, who was in prime position, narrowly missing to extend Barca's lead. Then, at the 35-minute mark of the second half, Real tries to make a move with CR7 getting a long pass but failing to finish effectively. Right after, Barca counters with Messi kicking off a solo play and getting stopped by a slide tackle. But this time, it was only met with a yellow card. Messi, unfazed by the fouls, at the 37-minute mark, kicks off another solo play with all his skill and speed, creating room to shoot, but the opposing goalie saves it. Real Madrid was in dire need of a comeback. This moment came around the 40-minute mark of the second half when Marcelo gets the ball on the left side and whips in a cross to the box, where James Rodriguez, fresh into the game, pops up to slot it home and level the game again. The Santiago Bernabeu erupted into madness, with Real Madrid's fans going wild, stoked that their team pulled off a draw against their arch-rivals towards the end of the game. That draw seemed to pump up Real's squad, who in less than a minute snatched the ball and launched a new counter. Cristiano Ronaldo gets it in the box, but instead of shooting, opts to pass to James Rodriguez, who tries a shot, but the goalie saves it. Then, at the 43-minute mark of the second half, Real gears up for another counter, with Cristiano Ronaldo getting the ball on the right side and passing again to James Rodriguez, who crosses to Marcelo for the finish. But the Barca goalie intercepts the ball. In less than a minute after, Real Madrid dashes into another counter, with Marco Asensio catching a long pass, duking it out with Piqué's defense, and making room for a shot. The rebound comes back to Marco Asensio, who this time attempts a cross to Cristiano Ronaldo, but he squanders another chance. At that moment, it seemed more likely that Cristiano Ronaldo's Real Madrid would score than Messi's Barcelona. But anyone thinking that forgot that the Argentine ace is a true field genius, and with him around, anything was possible. And that's exactly what went down in the game's added time, when Barcelona launched a counter with Messi zooming through midfield with all his agility, passing to his teammates and getting the ball back inside the box. And unlike CR7, he didn't miss his shot and scored the winning goal against his biggest rival right in Santiago Bernabeu, silencing all the opposing fans. The reaction from Cristiano Ronaldo and the whole Real Madrid squad was pure frustration, not believing what had just happened. Messi's celebration was iconic. He took off his jersey and showed it off to his fans. A moment that made history, showing the world who's the best.